the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock.
Acknowledge me. We coming for you, nigga. Fat!
Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
You First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
That's right, everybody. Dr. Huge is back Saturday with Jess again. Remember Jess from the other night?
Better.
Good celebrity, superstar in the IWC, the good portion of it, not that stupid other portion. And then, of course, Danny Damage. Shout out to you, Danny. Thank you for showing up again. I know it's very late over there.
Good evening. It's not that bad. It's 8 o'clock, but I've been up since 3 a.m., so yeah.
Yep, he's our ambassador to the whole UK, letting everybody know that Dr. Huge Show exists. So thank you for that. I never show my links. I probably should do that a little more. Hey, go to that link tree. Everything's there. You kids know how to use this stuff. Like, share, subscribe, hit the buttons, retweet, all that stuff. Dave Sayer in the chat. Shout out to you. Dabble for a superstar. Think you're going to be on Hughesy later on. All right, get me out of here. Yep. My arch nemesis, right? How dare he like wrestling too and like the Dabbleverse? I'm going to have to talk to Hughesy at some point, I guess. But I'm not going to understand what he's saying. I think what is he, Scottish or Irish? More on that later. He'll let us know probably. But we got a lot to talk about. The gambling situation in the NBA, a lot of wrestling news. Nothing really big going on in the wrestling world. They're just chugging along. But, if you guys got any big stories as well, breaking news, especially in the chat, let me know so I can hit that button. I love hitting this button.
This is breaking news.
Psych. I didn't mean it that time. All right. So let's get into something. You guys hear about this Andrade story? Yeah. So he, if you didn't know the saga, he gets released from WWE. And the first thing I heard was that he didn't have the 3-month non-compete that they usually have. And that's why he ended up on AEW, showed up there. They started a whole storyline and everything. And then it turns out WWE is like, no, we want a year where you can't do shit. And it was like, what? And now the word is they're using this as leverage to bring Andrade back into the fold, maybe at a cheaper price or who knows. He's got to keep working. What do you think about just the whole how WWE releases their talent and they can't do things? I understand it's a corporate, a deal, like it happens in a lot of different spaces, but does this seem right to you?
Remember when we just used to hear all the time, when Vince is gone, this sort of shit won't happen anymore. That's all I'm going to point. I'm going to point at that sign just every time because, this is another day where you reset the sign and it's just incidents since, days since this incident happened, and we've just got more Vinceisms, but it's just what Triple H learned.
Yep. The rumor was he had dates in Puerto Rico, and they were all telling everybody, hey, the reason why he didn't show up is probably because he's going back to WWE and they're working something out over there. So
I think Andrade released that story, to be honest, because it came from the Lucha side. If they fired him, I don't think they want him back. Bro, no showed, right? So I'm not buying that part. I get the 90-day non-compete. They usually are paid, right? So that's fine by me. They have 90 days to sort their shit out and then go somewhere else. This, from my understanding, because it was the year, is because he got fired, right? They don't want a Jeff Hardy getting himself fired and then showing up on TV somewhere else. So I get it. Not to be a corporate chill, but I used to be a senior manager, so I do understand that side of things. But I don't know, maybe don't get yourself fired and you won't have to worry about it. Like my sympathy is like down here. So
Yeah, I brought that up last week. I mean, if you got released because the wellness policy or whatever, that just opens a loophole for everybody to just go, hey, hey, I did coke the other night. Would you like to release me so I can go somewhere else? Yeah. To your competitors who they're crushing them, right? I mean, is this really a debate at this point? Like, there's no argument. WWE, AEW, I mean, apples and oranges right now.
They hit 200K, 200 something thousand, didn't they?
Oh, recently. It was real low. Yeah, Sleaze was talking about that last week, where they hit like 350 or something. I'm like, that sounds really low.
I thought it was 200 something, but still, yeah, it's not going up, so it's not good.
And no, is this hubby?
Yes.
This is hubby. It wouldn't make sense that they release him due to contract violations, and then they want him back. They could have just not fired him. Exactly. That was my point that I was eventually going to get to, but I'll let you make it. All right. That was your point. Yep. So get well, Andrade. I think that's my new bit. Everybody's got to get well and get better, because they're acting sick in the head or sick physically or, all the rest. So another guy, get well, Goldberg, because we're about to talk in a very harsh manner. How dare you speak about our Asuka that me and Jess just talked about the other night? We both love our Asuka. Nobody's ready for her. Clearly you are not. But so he's saying that the WWE used Asuka, some girl, to break his streak. But you know what? In a lot of ways, I'm like, yeah, they did that. That's how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the business. Like, what?
Yeah. Goldberg. It's not like Asuka fucking kicked you in the side of the head full steam, right? You know what I'm saying? She didn't do that to you. She just was told to break your record. And I get he's upset with the dub and the E and all this stuff. So, again, get well, Goldberg. I mean, they did screw him over again. Remember when his last match and they just totally cut it off midstream?
That's NBC, man. Again, sympathy down here, right? Like you're on NBC. It was on TV. They've got a hard stop. Tough shit.
With Greenberg, don't be antiseptic over here, Reezy. I know that's you, Reezy, with the these letters.
It's a bit naughty. Goldberg's made plenty of money from the wrestling business. People might be shitty to him, but he's been shitty to a lot of Bret Hart, as you just mentioned. But you can't really complain. He's made plenty. He's going to keep making plenty. Mm-hmm. No sympathy.
Yep. No simpy over here, right, Scott Steiner? But Goldberg, again, get well. His son, I thought, is going to be coming into the WWE at some point. There were talks about it, but the more he comes out here and talks about these things, I don't know, seems less likely to me. Maybe he's still going to try to make it in the football world or something, which, I mean, oh my goodness. Football, they coming for you next, bro. More on this later. We're going to talk about that gambling stuff, and it's a pretty wild story. I mean, because it's wild because now the normies get to see it. I already knew all this. I'm a sports fan. I watch it. I've been watching it since I was a kid. So I understand when something's up, when things don't make sense. When even to this day, I've been saying it for years on podcasts. You mean to tell me in the year 2025, we don't know what a catch is yet? We don't understand. Oh, you got to survive the ground. You got to hold it like this. You got to do this with it. You got to catch it like this. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you don't. So that right there, leaving these open-ended rules, it's clearly coming down from the leagues. But again, I got more wrestling stuff before I get crazy on this, Danny. Because it's happening where you live too, Danny. 100%.
Oh, yeah. My dad has always said, where there's money, there's a fiddle, which means someone can make some money or something. Someone's going to be working the system in one way. So with gambling, I mean, I believe it's happened since like back in the boxing days and before. So But we said in private the other day in the group chat, you can bet on wrestling, and you've been able to bet on works professional wrestling for a long time now, and that just blows my mind because it's like there's a degree of being able to work out how this is going to end, even if you don't know. They might change the Royal Rumble winner at the last minute or something like that, but there's still you still work it out to a degree. But with others, you apparently shouldn't be able to. But yeah, people throw fights and stuff like that, so I'm not surprised at all.
Nope. And people are still going to gamble because it is an addiction. And I heard Charles Barkley trying to argue that it wasn't, but under his breath, he's kind of like, yeah, it is. He'll concede to that, but it's not really that. It's like, well, if there are guys, let's just do it. We're just going to get into this now.
Sorry. There we go.
But, it's ridiculous. There's so many layers to this. That's what makes it a good story. Plus, I know all about it, and I knew it was fake the whole time or rigged to an extent. And not every single game is rigged either. This is a whole another thing. And the NFL pulled a funny one because a Thursday night football game, a lot of their games this year are always coming down to the wire. I mean, a lot of games in college and the pros are all coming down to the wire the past, 15 years to be exact. And it's just, there's no way. I don't remember sports like that as a kid. One team would generally dominate another team most of the time. If you're better, you're better. But all right, let's pull up the video. I studied a little bit. I figured out how to do some of the stuff on the fly real quick. Professional over here. Get ready. Well, first we got to watch this. This is more of a comedy vid. My Boston Celtics, our top player at the moment, our other top player is out. His hair rubs off on the other guy this play. So they got the motherfuckers wearing spray-on hair from the 90s over here, Danny. You hear about this?
No, it's just part of this is basketball, obviously, not soccer, but one of the reasons I stopped watching soccer as a kid because they stopped being sportsmen and they just started throwing themselves around and being like, he fouled me, I need a free kick, and it wasn't as entertaining to me. And I'm not surprised. This is bad.
Yeah. Very much a performance at this point. What are they, divas in the WWE, getting ready for a PLE, the extra long eyelashes and things. But all right, check this out. Can you see that? Folks, can you see this at home? Look at that. He just rubbed all his hair off on the New York Knicks center there. This is the last time I seen something like this was The Miz or was it Zack Ryder? It was Zack Ryder, not The Miz. Sorry, Miz. And maybe it was you too. But Zack Ryder comes in, he gets one of those JBL, pick up slam, or Farouk, where he picks him up and slams him straight down. And his head hit the mat, and it was just left this huge black mark, just like that. Come on, have some bald pride, people. That's all I got to say. This is ridiculous. If you're going bald, just either get rid of it or just manufacture it into something cool. Do not spray paint your hair. Don't put a rug on it. The rugs and the spray paint are back, bro. I didn't know this was a thing until recently. The black dudes, why you're black? Just go bald. That's what we do. Fuck. Anyway. Now to the hard-hitting news here. Stuttering John might be going live soon, so we might have to snipe him. My first snipe ever. Yep. Love that dabbler. Okay, so here's a story. So you guys, I'm sure, haven't heard of Clutch Sports. Clutch Sports is LeBron James, essentially. And they run everything in the NBA and around it. And they literally can tell podcasters, you don't talk about this, and you better stop that, and this and that. Like, they're really controlling the narrative on a lot of things. So Chauncey Billups was named in this case. Finals MVP, Detroit Pistons, drafted by my Celtics. Great player, known as a quality guy, too, like a character person. So for him to be tied up with the mafia and his thing, this isn't even basketball mainly, even though there is a little basketball to his indictment or something that he's getting. He's in a poker ring. So he's rigging poker games, and they're kind of like the mob is like using him as like, hey, you could play with Chauncey Billups in Las Vegas, and it gets big money whales that may not be, pros at poker, and then they just clean them out. And he's wearing a Clutch Sports sweatshirt, which is LeBron James' like main deal again, which tells me, because I'm just Mr. Conspiracy, even though I'm right about everything. He comes out wearing this because this is a signal. I'm telling you, better make this stop. So.
And it's clever because it not only does it have the name once, in case you read it and don't understand it, it has it a second time. So, you've got twice the chance of like understanding that message. It's clever.
And this is supposedly alleged. All this is alleged at the moment, right? Innocent till proven guilty over here still. And this is one of the ways that they did it. The UV glasses, black lights, whatever. And all the cards were numbered on top. So that's just, everybody thinks that this is like high tech. That's not very high tech.
No.
And the sports people are really stupid when it comes to this, because another thing that they've been saying over every single show because I've been trying to keep up with this, and they're all going, why would you try to get $5,000 when you're making like over $100 million in your career or whatever, or you got a coaching job and an analyst job and you were a past player? Like, why would you do this? It's like, well, you can get tied in with these people in the mob, which they're not mentioning a whole lot, and I'm not really trying to either. But, fellows, you trust a guy that looks like this? If I walk into a card room, I see a guy that looks like this, and his name is Tommy Juice, I'm getting the fuck out, okay? That's how I live my life. I understand threats. I want no problems, okay? I don't want any problems. So these other people, especially when you're feeling yourself, you're a pro baller, you got a little bit of cash, you go into some of these games, you come across a Tommy Juice at 23 years old, you're like, oh, this is cool. Yeah, then we'll scam other people and we'll just keep gambling. And, you can get caught into it like that. You could be in somebody's pocket for money before you started making your own money, and now you're stuck. That's how it works, Charles Barkley. You dumb fuck. So, it's one of the many people that just like they're trying to act like they don't understand life. You know what I mean? It's just unbelievable. But here's a little story about Tommy Juice.
Poker games and NBA coaches has issues. And I think one of the problems that I noticed with some of the defendants in this case is some of the behavior of them, I believe, led to not only investigations into them, but made it pretty easy for the feds to see what was going on here. Generally, in Fed cases, they begin with a certain informant and or a tip. Then they look through the bank accounts of these individuals. I talked to someone with...
So he doesn't really need to go on, but it's essentially he's buying big things. He's flashing the obvious. If you watched a gangster movie, you figured this out, right? Like if you get a lot of money, you don't just, and you got none coming in on the books. You don't go buy Ferraris and start like acting like the Joker in the first Batman, going out just throwing it out at the crowd. Like, what are you, an idiot? So of course they're like, look at this guy. He's got $500,000 in his bank account. Nothing's really coming in. And look at him. Again. So this is like, why now? I always ask myself, why are they doing this stuff now? What do you guys think on this? Like on that angle, do you think that this could be because of other things that they don't want to talk about? Like the FBI and the government, and so what's up? Yeah, I've known this. How do I know this? And they didn't know this whole time. You're just going to start investigating it now?
Yeah, they really don't want to start that thing with the names on a list, do they?
Well, that's one of them for sure.
That's definitely one of them, but it's
Mm-hmm. It's just unbelievable. This world, man, is just.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Did you see Stephen Smith bloody blaming Trump for this?
Stephen A.
Yeah.
Don't you ever disrespect Stephen A. Smith like that.
I hate Stephen A. Smith.
What?
I used to listen to ESPN radio, and that guy would drive me up the fucking wall, dude. I could not with him.
Yeah.
He hasn't got any better by the look of it or sound of it. He's just an absolute bellend.
He's getting more political, though, as you pointed out.
He's blaming Trump, and he's trying to make out like, oh, look out, black people, Trump's coming for you. That's what he said. That is what he was. Well, it's not what he said. It's what he was implying. But it was like, first it's basketball, then it's women's basketball, and it's like Trump's coming for you. And it's just like, I know what you're doing, you sneaky little shit.
Right. He made it in a way where he's like, he's coming in the name of justice because, they went after him. And he's like, if you're a human and you think you're innocent and people are trying to put you in jail every month, he's got like this righteousness that he's coming back with. But yeah, in total, he kept saying, he's coming. His whole performative deal. Which that's another thing that always bothers me, especially the Pat McAfees of the world. I know he was in the league, but as a special teams player, which, all right, and a special teams player that wasn't like the kicker. He was the punter, bro. Like that's like the lowest of the low. You always love the kicker more than the punter.
Sorry, so is that literally just they only bring him in to run, kick, and then he goes back off and never does? Right, fair enough, yeah.
Literally goes out there and they're like, oh, well, our offense stinks and we can't move the ball any further. They send Pat McAfee in to kick the ball away.
But he's never in there to sort of like end up possibly getting smashed over by somebody.
I mean, very rarely. You get a 15-yard penalty if you hit him, so they try not to hit these guys.
Okay. So, but in general, he avoids contact.
He literally catches the ball for him, and then he kicks it.
Right, okay.
He's conceded. He's the guy that concedes on the team. He goes, all right, here you go. You can have it. Right. You know how we look down on interceptions and fumbling and things. He's just like, nope. I know I'm getting a little excessive with it, but I don't like him. I don't like the gimmick. Let's get into that for a minute before I get back into this. Because I haven't talked about Pat McAfee in months, guys. And Jess probably doesn't know this. I do not like Pat McAfee. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the way he sounds. I don't like that he's everywhere and all in my shit, in my world. And everybody looks at him, and I read the comments everywhere, and they're like, that Pat McAfee, wow, isn't he a talent? And I'm like, he's a fucking punter, and he just acts like a bro. He goes out there, he takes his shirt off, he pours beers on his head and things like Stone Cold. And that's it? And we're just going to give him a pass? With the cuck face that he makes all the time? His open mouth face? Like, and then Drake's going to be one of the best rappers ever? Like, what world have I fallen into over the years? Maybe I'm just old and you guys just love dorks now. So, fuck, man. But word is, he's not happy with ESPN. ESPN's not happy with him. And he's like, oh, it's because it's old white dudes. Am I an old white dude? No, I just think you're cringe. And take that shit back to Barstools with Dave Portnoy and his cringe. You're all fucking cringe. And get out of my wrestling, especially. Oh, my goodness. Sorry, Jess. I got to blow off some steam when it comes to this.
Right.
Sometimes.
You bloody love Pat McAfee. You love him.
Fucking stinks. Look at him.
But he says words funny. He says words funny. That's the thing. That's his thing.
And so you've probably lost my husband as a fan now. He loves Pat.
Dudes love Pat McAfee, and that makes me even more mad. You lost me as a fan, hubby. How about that? How dare you like this guy? Corey Graves, 1,000 times better in WWE in the position that Pat McAfee was in. 1,000 times better. Come back so Gunther can beat you up again. That's really the thing I liked when you got choked to death on TV almost. I think that's what happens before every show. That's why he comes out sounding all raspy. Gunther's just backstage choking him before he comes out like, you nerd. Yeah. American football is a weird sport. No. It's not a weird sport. The greatest sport ever. except when it's fixed, which everything is now, right? I loved basketball too. And before even all these scandals, this had a little bit to do with it because, I'm a longtime basketball fan, played it high levels over here in the U.S., dunking and everything, hanging on the rim. Never broke a backboard though. I always wish I could do that. But 2004. I'll give you an anecdotal story. My first bet I ever put out, $50. Of course, it was illegal at the time, right? But $50 on the Celtics. Gary Payton, old veteran player, but he was, a legendary player on the Celtics. The spread was 4. I forget who they were playing or anything. At the end of the game, it turned to a free throw fest. Gary Payton's on the line, missing shots, all this stuff. And I'm just like, this is not how this is supposed to work, especially when you got money on the line, which it wasn't a lot. It was a lot then to me, but, I'm like, come on, Gary, like, hit your free throws. It's the end of the game. I understand it's a regular season game or whatever, and there's a lot of them, but I'm just kind of like weirded out by it. And I remember before that, I listened to Wilbon on ESPN, where they have these shows every night, and he's saying, put money on the Celtics tonight. And that kind of gave me the extra push to be like, this sports analyst is saying, hey, he would put money on this, and this tonight. And one of the things is my home team. I got nothing to do, so I'm going to watch this game. They lose, of course, the spread one way or the other, 3 or 5. And I'm just like, I've never seen a basketball game like that. And actually like focused on it because it was, again, a throwaway game or whatever. But the reason why I'm bringing this up, Gary Payton, his son plays in the NBA, and there's a clip of him freaking out over an 11.5 spread because they were already up 11. He just didn't want the other team to score by accident, right? So he's on the bench, and then there's a camera on him, and he's like, oh. And then the other team actually won, which meant he lost the bet. And he was like, you could tell he lost the bet. And they're on the bench. And I'm like, oh, my God. This is like 20 years apart. You know what I mean? So I verified. That's like verification for myself. Not your dad and you are acting highly suspicious, and I can remember it. And then at that time, you got Tim Donaghy, who they're like, oh, don't worry, guys, that referee. Tim Donaghy's the only referee doing any of this. Sure. And they wiped that right under the rug because everybody was still pretty much asleep in the 2000s. But everybody's watching and looking now, huh? It's insane stuff. Anyway, it's late in the mood a minute because everything I'm watching is just getting ruined. Look, there's Hansy. Remember, I told you I have Hansy on the show. Big famous person over here at the Dr. Huge Show. Howard Stern, phenomenon.
Where's the Illuminati?
He's looking for the Illuminati.
I'm not leaving till I find them.
That should be straight through the loading dock.
Imran Khan is here and he's looking for the Illuminati.
This place is absolutely.
His face went crazy at the end. Do you guys have any takes on AI?
Some of the videos are actually really fucking funny, but I'm not a fan of when people like remove the watermark so that it's AI. I think that's a little shady.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna make a funny video, go ahead. If you're gonna make anything else, like, don't. that's my take.
That's
be funny or don't.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, if it's obviously meant to be a piss take, then yeah. But if you're trying to be like, look at me being creative, and you've just used AI, then yeah. Piss off. That's.
Here's my my friend, great friend and fan of the show, right? CWC. Here he is. Let's give him a little plug.
Hi everyone, this is Clearwater Chad. We're here at the Irish Famine Memorial. We have a lot of Dabbleverse people that are Irish. Our leader Kevin Brennan is a fighting Irish.
Our leader.
We're here to support the Irish. There was a famine many years ago. They didn't have enough potatoes, and we respect that. Let's have a moment of silence for the Irish. Like I said, our leader Kevin Brennan, he's an Irishman. We got a lot of Irishmen in the Dabbleverse.
Me too. I'm Irish.
That. And like I said, this is Buffalo, New York. And we're you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? All right, we know what you mean, bro. Good job. So who knows? Maybe I'll get him on sometime soon. Check this video out. This is Chauncey Billups here, the
Vince
coach.
Chauncey Billups threw on purpose. So the Trailblazers are down by 7 with about 4 minutes remaining in the quarter, and they're trying to mount a comeback for the ages. They hit the layup 106-101 and wait for the graphic. Wait for it, there it is. They're on a 10-0 scoring run. So fast forward about a minute, Blazers are down by 6. Danny Advia's hooping tonight. He hits the free throw to go down by 5. He's got 37 points. Not 27, not 35, 37 points. As the Blazers try to mount the comeback, they get the ball back now. So they got a chance to win this game, man. So the game now resumes, 3 minutes left, and Denny Advia is on the bench. He's not in the game. He's on the bench.
Yep. I mean, what more proof do you need? That doesn't even make any sense. So it's like things like this that I've seen all through the years where I'm like, okay, I get it. Or they give certain awards to certain players that don't deserve it. Or I see it's to the point now where I'm seeing it every single week, not every game. Again, they don't rig every game. They rig specific games to maximize the payouts because they know mostly primetime games. Again, why I was laughing about the one primetime NFL game on Thursday night that was 37-10. Yeah, when's the last time you seen one of those? In a primetime where the other team's just beating the other one, nothing's really happening. That's old school sports to me. But anyway, I'll digress.
I was going to ask, is the implication that it's just the coach that's intentionally putting weaker players on at certain times? Or is it implied that there are lots of players that are also in on this?
Both. So, yep. Coaches, because he's a coach. And there's also the players throwing games, which is Terry Rozier, another Boston drafted by the Celtics. And I'm telling you, this Boston area, we got a lot of gangs around here, like the sophisticated kind, all up and down the Northeast. Jess knows all about it, I'm sure. But, that's how things run over here, Danny, a little bit. And I don't know. I think the drafts are rigged too in a lot of cases. So there's rigging upon rigging upon rigging. And then I think the underworld, especially now that everybody's shilling for gambling companies, everybody's in on it. Everybody. So
that being said, the more people that are involved, though, means the more chance of at least one person being like, you know what, I'm going to blow this whole thing. And yeah, that's probably if you get more people involved, it's more likely to be. Well,
you got the guy Tommy Juice we were talking about that's buying the fancy cars and spending all this money, and then you got Rozier out here who's like put all this money on a game supposedly, and then it's like I can't play anymore after 9 minutes, or turn the ball over like 5 times in a row. Like they're making it so obvious,
right?
Just crazy. But anyway, we'll get back into it later with some more of that. But let's talk about CM Punk's tattoos because I need your take on this, Danny.
Has he got some new ones or just
CM Punk went to Japan with?
Well, I already don't like this sentence. Fucking hell.
With Rhea Ripley and
this is
Gonzalez,
okay.
And they all got matching sumo tattoos on their ankles where the roses should be. That's the thing I'm upset about the most. The rose.
Sorry, so Punk, Rhea, and
Gonzalez. Yeah.
Right.
Rodriguez, whatever she calls herself these days.
So not his missus. Cool. And he got a matching tattoo, not with his missus.
That's the thing. Jess, would you be mad if hubby went overseas with 2 giant women and got matching tattoos with them? Would you be like at least weirded out by that? Or would you just be like, oh, that's nice?
I mean, it's a coworker situation. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit different. Like, I feel like wrestling is a different universe. Like, if he just went and got like a tattoo with some girl that he's friends with, I mean, I'm a jealous bitch. So like, he would know better because I'd rip that thing off his skin. But Yeah,
Sons of
no,
Anarchy
like
style. Flames or knives?
it's like,
Whatever
they
you
went
let
as
you
a group,
choose.
they went to like, they went to wrestle. It's like a commemorative thing. Like, hey, we went to Japan together.
Mhm.
Like, I don't see anything wrong with it.
All right. Maybe they have an open thing going on over AJ Lee. I'm just allegedly in a boxing ring, maybe. I don't know.
Sorry, everything you just said then, Jack, I completely agree with if it was like, I don't know, 80s, 90s territories, and it was like, oh, we were working together in the same promotion, battling our opposition and all this time, and, some of us starved and we had kids to feed and all that, but it's good living for them at the minute. It's not like they've sort of like had to bond in the trenches. So I do see what you're saying, but I don't think our lass would be very impressed if I was like, so there's two lasses at work and I went on this business trip, right? And while we're enjoying all like this luxurious like hospitality, we all went and got matching tattoos. I'm pretty sure my missus would have questions, and rightly so. But he just keeps doing this with lasses backstage, doesn't he? He's very friendly, I'll say.
I'll tell you, if my wife goes to Japan with McIntyre and Tamatanga, right, and gets matching tattoos, we're going on the Jericho cruise shortly after, and I'm throwing her overboard. That's what's going to happen. Full RIP, right off the ship.
Like you're throwing her out of the Royal Rumble, that sort of like over-exaggerated.
She hangs on, tries to do the Shawn Michaels, come back in and kick the hands or whatever. Yep. Shark chum. Oh, there's a great story. This reminds me. There's this Whitney Cummings, the comedian. She writes a bunch of shows and stuff. Her sister is kind of in the Dabbleverse too, and shows up on these shows. And she had this elaborate story where she was on Richard Branson's, like one of his medium-sized boats off his island or whatever, and what was going there partying. And I guess Richard Branson, a mile or two away from where they were going, this is her words. It's very hard to believe, but like gave her a 300 style like kick to the chest, like right off the boat in shark infested waters, and she had to swim all the way back. Yeah, I didn't believe the story, but it's hilarious. You never been on Richard Branson's boat, right, Jess?
No.
I heard he spin kicks people like right off that thing.
I mean, that actually sounds kind of fun, but like maybe not the shark part.
No islands for this guy. You want me to come to your islands, rich guys? No, not anymore. Maybe back in the day, but yeah, I've heard some things. What else we got here? Oh, everybody's upset with Jey Uso. They're so mad at Jey, the dislikes, but at the arenas, everybody loves him and they're yeeting. Yeet. What the heck? And I know, Jess, you gotta like him. He's Samoan. You have zero Samoan fatigue, unlike me and Danny. We got a little Samoan fatigue over here, but no.
No.
You're still on board with Jey Uso versus CM Punk?
Yes, I'm just mad at Jay for the shit to Jimmy. That's about it. But like, no, I don't care. Like, let him have his shit. Sorry, I don't like. We were talking. I already have beef with LA Knight, right? So, and he was gonna lose anyway. So he'll get his turn some other time. Get over it. Shut up.
So disrespectful.
I was yelling at people all morning. People pissing me off about Tamatanga. So,
Danny, you ready? You know what we do over here, right? Show them how we do it, Danny. Yeet, yeet, yeet. Go on, do it with me, guys. Yeet, yeet, yeet. See, I always at least get one of yous to do it. Danny's always out on the yeets. Exactly, Paladin. That's how we do it over here. Don't forget, you got to run it back. They want it again. Yeet, 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 yeet. Yes. Best show in the world, everybody. Yep. Danny actually gets upset, I think. He's going to wipe tears away in a minute.
To start with, yes, but the more you press that button, the T blends into the Y for the next one, and it sounds like a J, and it sounds like a slur, and it amuses me because you sort of get away with that, and it's like, yeah.
G, 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 G.
Do you hear it? You can't unhear
A
it.
little
once you
bit,
hear
a
it,
little bit.
yeah.
I get what you're saying.
But when you press it 23.5 times, then that's all I can hear. Or at least that's what I choose to hear, just to zone out of it.
No beats.
Right.
There we
That's
go.
your button.
Mhm.
Yep. So we talked about Andrade. Anybody watch Braun Strowman's food show the other night?
No, because I
Premiered
feel like
right
it just
after
makes me
SmackDown.
hungry.
That's the thing. Why do I want to watch a food show at 10 o'clock Eastern time? You know, I'm as soon as I seen it come on with food, I'm like, I don't want to eat it anymore. I'm like, I'm gonna want to, so I shut it right off. So I don't know if the scheduling really makes that much sense over there in the USA Network. Hire Dr. Huge. I'll fix it for you. Yep. Of course you did. We always eat real hard over here. Yep. Yeah, you're gonna hear it a lot.
You can't unhear it now.
What do we want to talk about?
All right. Well,
What was Strowman cooking? Is it just, hi, I'm a meathead, I have like 10 meals a day, this is the sort of stuff you need to be doing?
it's one of the fake excitement. I'm going to eat over here at this place, guy. Guy Fieri type shit, and then he goes there and he's big and he, eats all out of their food. So
I thought it was going on Martha Stewart at home, like real decadent puddings and things like that.
Actually, I would like that. I think more. He makes like a really like delicate dessert with like an apron on.
just the little portions. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like all cute, like frilly. I'm down for that.
I want Braun in Friday the 13th. That's what he needs to be in. Well, I know, Danny, you kind of like horror. You're not really that big into it, right?
Not modern horror, but I totally got on board with renting huge wrestlers to like play some of like the Psycho Killers. That makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, especially him. And I mean, you might as well. The last remake of Jason, what was it, like 2009 or something? That was like the biggest one I've ever seen. And Braun Strowman would swamp this guy, but no beard, we don't want any resemblance to Braun Strowman there. That's all I want. Just make him look like Jason, but give him body. That sexy body.
Yeah, Kane. Excuse me. Sorry, Kane kind of like did the prototype of that with See No Evil or Hear No Evil, whichever it was called, and he sort of like it wasn't the greatest film, but you could sort of see the blueprint of like, if you get a wrestler that's this sort of big and put him in a horror position, then could do some damage.
Oh, another thing about Braun Strowman before we leave that, he supposedly has a little bit of heat with Heyman, because Heyman went into that whole bit about how it's the first time Roman's ever been on a stretcher, with Bronson Reed and all this, and Strowman's like, I'm the guy that put him in the stretcher every week, which he did. You remember all them ambulance matches, all that stuff. So, he felt some kind of way about it. I think Paul Heyman even shot back again, so now it's like a little back and forth between them, which is kind of funny. Who knows if it's even real, but hopefully it is, and then they can duke it out at WrestleMania or something. No bread, no water, all meat. Just hot dog meat, right? It's the best kind of meat. Keeps you nice and lean. So, yep. Ticket prices have doubled since TKO's. It's like official, I've heard out here. It's not bothering Jess at all, right? You love these ticket prices. You'll go to
Sorry, you're poor. Like, I don't know what to say. I'm still going.
And apparently everybody else is too. So it's like, it's not stopping anything. I think it could triple. Maybe it will triple someday. But they're still killing it out here. Because you had that story about ESPN being upset with them. But ESPN came out and said, no, we're actually fine with the WWE. Because what was it? The news was they make 35 million annually, but give out 325 for a year deal with for the PLEs, which is this Dave Meltzer again, Jess?
Yes, it was. Meltzer said that ESPN was upset because that guy who's a sicko wrote his review and graded them or whatever, which he's been doing for like a year or so. So it's not new. Should people paid attention to it more? And then Meltzer took that and ran with it and was like, oh, ESPN is so unhappy, but Warner Brothers must love AEW with their fucking shit ratings, right? So I don't know. I hate Dave Meltzer.
Isn't it all sports as well, though, that tickets have gone up?
Oh, it's everything. Concerts. I mean, the economy, right? It's just fucking shit. So everything's expensive. So I'm not surprised. I do think obviously TKO has probably tweaked that a little bit, but they're in debt. So, like that's what they're going to do.
And it's always the people who say they don't like the current WWE, saying it's shit, who complain about ticket prices for a show they say isn't good. Yep.
Yeah, like they're not going to go. Why do they care?
Right. Well, going well at ESPN. Good job. Oh, just based off of principle, I'm not spending $50 a month to watch wrestling. It's just,
I don't either.
I'm an old timer. I'm not doing it, Maybe for WrestleMania, I'll go out of my way and do it, but I got toys to buy again. Like, you look at all this behind me, okay? Can't keep up with everything, but more on that later. How about this story? Supposedly, Charles Manson was a fan of Bray Wyatt and wanted to meet him, and they might have and could have worked out a segment where Bray Wyatt went and had like a discussion with Charles Manson in prison. And of course, they didn't do it at the end of the day. But man, that would have been good, though. I don't care. That would have been something
weird.
Because they could edit it any way you want. It wouldn't be like some live feed cutting in there. I think that would have been just insane. Because they really, honestly, if you listen to what Charles Manson says and just don't look at his appearance, he's not really that crazy. He's not in my book anyway. Like, there's plenty of other crazy people, wiping poop on the walls and things, shooting up. You remember that guy that went to Stamford, Connecticut, WWE, and was wiping his poop everywhere and trying to like stab people or something? Yeah, that's crazy. This other guy, I mean, of course, is way before my time, right? So I don't know, except, he's got the thing on his face, the tattoo, and the whole Beatles murders and what have you, so I say do it. I think the time has passed, but I mean, we can't do it now, right? How the fuck did Charles Manson outlive Bray Wyatt? That's another, like, come on, bro. It's insane. This world, man. Yeah.
I mean, WWE's worked with well, no, they haven't, but they've I don't want to get you into trouble. But they've worked with people of ill repute, we'll say.
Okay.
That have been,
of course. It's one of
a
those
boxer.
things.
Sorry, go on.
Well, like the hubby says, that's one of the things I think would be a super cool, but that would be poor decision for corporate sponsors. Yep. But you know what? I'm not about corporate sponsors over here. I'm a talent. I'm a creative, okay? And I want to do what's best for business. Of course, people would hate on it and be like, how dare you, and this and that. Would they stop watching? I don't think so.
They still don't now. They complain about everything.
Right. They're going to complain no matter what. So I say it just would have been insane for that character is all I'm saying. But man, Bray Wyatt, one of my favorites, the past 10, 15 years, ever since he came around. And of course, he gets taken from me. Luke Harper goes over to AEW. Another figure I have right here. I got to stop buying these figures, Danny. Every figure I buy, I got Terry Funk right there. I could have gotten him on the show, but he told me basically, he goes, I'll give you 5 minutes or whatever. He's like, I just really don't do it anymore. I'm just so old. I just want people to leave me alone at this point. So I just say, I'm like,
sounds nice.
Don't worry about the 5 minutes. Like, it's fine. He's like, I'll still do it. It's no, whatever. And I'm like, nah. So I left him alone. I was going to ask him all about Roadhouse. Great movie. One of my favorites, spin kicks galore. Yep. So there was some things that went on last night on SmackDown. I actually caught some of it for the first time in like a month. And Damian Priest caught a real nice black eye from Zelina. Did you see that, Jess?
Oh yeah, so that was a burn. So I don't know if you saw 2 weeks ago he had a match with Alistair and he like spit up like threw a fireball in his face. Like don't know where it came from, right? Like, it was legit. But so that was a burn that I think Zelina accidentally wiped away while she was clawing his face. But real for real burn.
His eye was
But
all
yes,
puffy.
there's
He was like, he just kept touching it, like, what the?
he had the sunglasses on at first,
Mm-hmm. Prince of Darkness. He was great at that. Kevin Sullivan used to come on all the time. Another one, of course. R.I.P. to you as well. But he would throw the five. I think he was the originator of that gimmick. Yep. Sad times over here. I lost Roddy Piper. He would have been a regular. I love me some Roddy Piper. He would have been hilarious. He had some great podcasts back in the day, too.
I was driving for a living at the time, delivering construction stuff. And I just used to, when there was 3 wrestling podcasts, that was it. I think it was like Piper, Austin, and Cornette, or maybe Jericho, or Jim combination, whichever of those 5 was like the first 3. You couldn't listen to enough. You always wanted more. Now there's way too much. But yeah, Piper's was one of those. I didn't miss one, and it was great. That's real sad what happened to him.
Yeah, my favorite episode, I think they had Hacksaw Jim Duggan come on, and then fake Stone Cold with Will Sasso. Hilarious.
Is that right? I wondered who that was, who did that impression.
I think it was Will. It must have been Will Sasso. He's so good at it. But remember, he's like questioning his football career and all this stuff, and it was like really starting to piss Hacksaw off.
Yeah, he's trying to be polite because it was Roddy's sort of like suggestion to talk to him, but then it was just like, why is this guy getting at me? What the fuck's going on? And you can sort of hear Piper just like in the background, trying not to laugh.
Yeah, so good. How about this Marco's stunt? Everybody's like, I can't believe this is news. They're like out of their minds that he's selling cars now. You remember Marco's stunt, Danny, from AEW, the little guy?
Yeah.
I know it's one of Jess's favorites. Must be one of her favorites.
I didn't hear this, and I'm just going to let you know I am not shocked. I think I'm bigger than him.
My God.
Gotta look the part, man. Like,
yep.
I'm kind of surprised. Tony Khan would just employ anyone, just find something. Oh, is he selling cars for Tony Khan? Because then I wouldn't be surprised. No. Tony had found a job for him, would just pay him. Just
to exist.
Yeah.
High-end foreign vehicles coming off of boats. But yeah, I'm just scrolling through a lot of these stories that I see online and in the news, and that stuck out as like, there's always a few where you're like, that's a story. And then Titus O'Neil, they're like, oh, is he retiring? Oh no, he's coming back. But I read this Sports Illustrated story, and it really just felt like a fluff piece for Saudi Arabia, really, at the end, because he's just like, ball washing Saudi Arabia, dick riding it, and all the rest.
Isn't he like an ambassador for a while for WWE? I don't know.
Still is. I think he's considered the global ambassador.
What do you think he said that for? Like, come on.
like the sleaze said before, he goes like, what the fuck does he do? Because he was on a show I was watching recently, The King's Court. I love my stupid reality shows, and it was one on Peacock. And just, hey, you tell me there's a dating reality show and Titus O'Neil's going to be on it, Titus World Slide, I'm there for it. So I skimmed through a bunch of it. It was a ridiculous ass show. But yeah, I think he left with the crazy lady. But he wants to get back in the ring. And that's not even the story. To me, the story is, okay, so you're talking to Titus O'Neil to then ask him about the Saudi Arabia stuff. And he's like, it's safer than this, and it's safer than America, and there's this and that. I'm like, no, it ain't. No, I was just watching a movie from like a few years back. Remember The Kingdom with Jamie Foxx? Just pops up on cable, and so I look at the info thing. I'm like, oh, I've never seen this before, and I click on it, and it goes, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. This and that. And I'm watching it, and there's bombs exploding and shootouts in the middle of the street. I'm like, fuck this. You know, you still got a ways to go, Saudi Arabia, before you get a guy like me to go over there. Yep. Scared to death. That also reminds me, I'm listening to the show that we did the other night, Jess, and you mentioned a SummerSlam or a pay-per-view like you weren't going to go to in a couple years. And I mentioned like getting you ghost sheets and black sheets and things. I thought you were talking about WrestleMania.
I was
going to Saudi Arabia, but it might have been something else. And you were probably like, what the hell is he talking about?
No, I was saying I will not be going to the 2027 WrestleMania.
Oh, so it was that good. So
the money that year, yeah.
But yeah, don't worry, we'll get you a black costume if you need one, ninja outfit. No, you wear the black ones. Yeah, that's right. I'm good at this, Danny. I know my world, geographics and stuff. But yep, when I saw Jamie Foxx in the middle of a street, and it's like, yep, this is right in Riyadh. Come to WrestleMania. I'm like, not Dr. Huge. Sorry, everybody. Maybe in 10 years or something. Get that all situated. We'll send Jamie Foxx back over there with Diddy. Yep. Laughed my ass off. I just Googled this guy, and holy shit, he is actually smaller than Jess, even in height. Yes. Marco's stunned very, very tiny. Like this.
Put him next to Jungle Boy to make Jungle Boy look like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, that's true. He did make him look a lot bigger. And then you see Jungle Boy again next to that. He's still Jungle Boy to me. And then CM Punk came in and rang his neck.
Just a little bit.
Just like Homer with Bart Simpson. How dare you disrespect your dad? Don't you see that he's tired? Anyway. Oh, you want to try to... He's got to be live by now. He was already like 45 minutes late for a show. Oh, this stuttering John. Let's see. Is he coming? He's in a suit. Holy shit. Hold on. All right, we got to put this on for a minute. Hopefully you guys can hear this. I'm sure you will. Hold on. We'll bring this up. Don't worry. People love dead air, guys. Don't worry about it. And we're going to do this. And then we're going to hit that. And we're going to watch one of my favorites.
Kids.
You can hear it?
Yeah.
Ish. Justin, hope you get Coke that stops your heart at weddings.
So here we go already. Just read the chat. The chat going along with it is hilarious. This is 1 second in. This is why I watch this stuff. So basically, Stuttering John, he's the head of the Dabbleverse. Used to work on Stern, which I listened to many years ago. And now he basically makes money by people just hating his guts.
You gonna take your little Beamer with the vinyl roof around a little convertible, little tiny penis car, driving around like you're a fucking something when you're not. You're a loser. Newgert, I agree. John looks like a lawyer already.
He's going to take the LSAT soon. He's going to take that test that is incredibly hard to pass because he says he's got over 130 IQ. He's outsmarting everybody.
Sure.
Okay. Now, at the very beginning of this whole Dabbleverse deal, there was many people that thought he was just of course, he's a little bit performative too, puts it on a little bit, but he really doesn't need to. He really believes every word he's saying. And yeah, he thinks he's a genius. So
maybe some of the bridesmaids. Olga Supreme, you can't polish a turd. Well, I don't know. I think I look pretty damn good. I think a lot of the ladies would say that. No coat hanger in here.
What do you think about Stuttering John, Jess? You think he's hot, right?
No.
No, he's not. The Duke. He calls himself the Duke. He was the Admiral before. He was the GOAT before that, but now he's the Duke. He's on the move right now. That's why he must be in a hotel or something. getting ready for something. He's been doing comedy shows lately, but not hot is what you're saying.
Definitely not.
Man, he's only, how old do you think he is?
I'm afraid to say.
What are you afraid of? He's not going to come for you or anything.
I don't.
60 years old. Years young.
Yes. I think I look quite dapper.
See? You were wrong.
I do like his tie. I like plaid.
Klaus Kinse's flaccid drug. Bob Levy says what Chitware and Phil did to you is wrong. Well, Bob started to come to the good side, and that's a good sign for Bob. Bob, it's about time. And I think you and I can let bygones be bygones.
Another older comedian.
Brian Clouder, my man. 386.
That's the thing. John's not really technically a comedian. He was like a radio intern that ended up on the Tonight Show because Jay Leno and Howard Stern had a beef, and he kind of just took one of his guys and then realized that he couldn't be an announcer, even that. And then he's like, yeah, you're a writer, sure. And then made him sit in the crowd with everybody else, even as the announcer. Remember, they would have the announcer like sit up close to the stage and all this. Yeah, not Stuttering John, not after a while. All right, just a little bit more, and then I got some, I'll go back to some notes, but this is my first stream snipe ever. We must beware of his music. He tries to catch people like me. He'll play music to try to get us, but I already know, expert out here as well, John.
Out of the zipper.
Huh?
130 IQ.
Exactly. He's not going to outfool. I got 135. How about that?
Do you know how traumatic that is for a 21-year-old? Now, that was kills. Problem. So, Brian's what I did, I don't know if you remember. At the show, I fucked it up. I said, well, yeah, so how did this whole stuttering thing get started? Well, I had a horrible experience when I was a kid. Fucked it up. You can't let on that you were a kid. So then I had
to that finger.
But then you remember the cameraman on the side of the stage kept taking pictures, and I go, hold on, and I started posing. That was to change the whole premise, change the setup, get it out of the audience's mind, because I knew that I would fuck up the punchline. And then after I changed, everybody's now thinking of me doing all these poses for the cameraman, all different angles. I did my Ralph Crandom and all that stuff. Then I was able to restart the joke and say, had a traumatic experience when I was younger, and then I was able to deliver the punchline. Little inside comedy there. Thank you. SD187, thanks for the thoughts. You look like an older broker Belichick. That's just plain mean.
All right, we'll come back to you later, John, because, he's just great. He has some good stuff. I understand a lot of people out there hate him and all this. Yeah, it's just, come on. Just calm down, all right? Just take it for what it is. But, man, do they go after him. There's full-blown channels dedicated to him. Live streams 2-3 times a day where all they talk about is Stuttering John. What a world, Danny.
You could see it in the chat just flying back. I bet people get really obsessed and write songs about him and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Fuck. Yep, I got one myself, remember, from last year. It was just a quick little ditty, though. I literally wrote it in 15 minutes. I'm like, I'm not going to spend all this time trying to produce something. So I came up with a little beat and a hook and put them right over it. Go check it out sometime. Dr. HUGENSTEIN channel. That's where I put my music that nobody listens to. So Titus O'Neil, yep. How about Halloween's going to be a SmackDown Halloween next Friday's? It's going to be weird over here. I know that the kids have been showing up less and less. It seems like back before 2020, it was they were bussing people into my neighborhood. So very odd that there's not a lot of people out there these days. But then again, the candy is outrageous. Even that's overpriced. Take that. I'm a hater of candy factories too. Not only
TKO.
Yeah. I blame everybody. But yeah, so that should be a decent show. And for those that do watch these SmackDowns, the trick or treat street fights or whatever they put together,
they're always so
they're actually bangers. They are fucking it looks ridiculous. Remember the year, what was it? The candy corn they were throwing people on, or the Legos. And I think the Legos got stuck in Bobby Lashley's back one year in one of those types of matches. Yep. Worse than tax. All
They were
right.
probably just normal bricks. Lashley's huge.
Yeah. Yep. So, and Halloween Havoc is tonight.
Yes.
Yep. Are you gonna watch that?
I'm missing it because I'm getting drunk soon. So
Whoa.
we're going to a friend's party. So
Yeah. Well,
we'll
catch up.
But
Skull. That's Stuttering John's line. He scolds all the time, bro. I don't know if you noticed, but he does. Maybe not in the suit today. Yep. So Halloween Havoc tonight. I know that's what they're missing Shotzi for right now, right, Shotzi? Yeah, we got some Shotzi over here. Mm-hmm. You miss Shotzi, guys?
No.
Not at all. All right.
I'm sure they'll find somebody else to, do her usual shtick. So
They got nobody. I mean,
No,
Tatum could have done it, but she's in a big storyline.
Right.
Mm-hmm. How about that Izzy Dame? Man, she had a little bit of that baby fat, you know what I'm saying? But woo, she's like smoking right now.
That's Braun's girl.
Who?
Braun Breaker. He whipped her into shape. That's why she got so good. You see that they started dating, and all of a sudden she's like on it in ring.
Trust me, ladies, I notice. Okay, remember what was her name? The Spanish girl that was with Delgado or Elgato, whatever they called that group. And
Electra.
She, same deal. She was very puffy. I don't know what to call it. She's like out of shape a little bit, but not like compared to the average person. But man, when she got called up to the main roster, it was like slimmed right down. And same thing with Izzy Dame, and same thing with The Rock's daughter. I gave her props, even though everybody's been hating on her lately, because you can't be hanging around with all these fitness models and looking like an average person. Is all I'm saying. You stick out, unless you're Kevin Owens, right? Like everybody just expects him to be a big fat guy. So
it's fake. It's a belly suit. I keep telling you.
Oh, that's right. He's really shredded.
He's had like an 8-pack for like the last 10 years now.
I kind of like want him to come back, like Randy came back, right? Like that bro fucking jacked, right? Like I want KO to come back just like fucking Hulk.
And Orton comes back with a dad belly because he's got like 7 kids or whatever.
Switch.
Yeah.
How about Tama Tonga though? I mean, he's gone, since he's come back.
He's fat.
I'm not saying he's fat.
Don't start with me. Did you see me going off today on the IWC?
No. What, you fight with him because he's fat?
Yeah, he's not fat. First of all, all right, you're gonna get me going. So this was my message to the IWC because I know that they don't know a single thing about fitness. Okay, he put on muscle mass, right? Those traps were fucking huge. All right, his arms way bigger. Bro, put on some mass. In order to put on mass, you have to be in a calorie surplus. I should not have to explain to the IWC what that does. All right, they all fucking know because they're fat asses. Okay, yeah, you got a little bit of some weight going. Whatever, still hot, still could kick your ass, and you're fat. Let me see your abs. Okay, I got abs. I'm allowed to have an opinion on this. So
I had abs. All right, everybody. I got a nice belly going here. Not a pot belly.
Leaks.
It's nice. It's nice in the Tama Tonga like. All right, just a little thick with the double C's, I guess.
It's a little thick, okay? Like, fuck off. I
Remember
don't want to hear about it.
Sheamus came back in the WWE, like all the officials backstage were like, "You're fat."
I don't think he was prepared to come back. He was like, like mid bulk and then probably cut, and they caught him right in that middle of that bulk.
It's just hilarious to me because it's like the guy's still in like super good shape.
Yeah.
But they're like, they're laughing at him backstage. How dare you be this? Look at that. They're like probably pinch like a piece of skin. Like, look at this. Yeah, bulking up like the Bulkster. Yep, man. Now I'm gonna be the one having to deal with the fired up Jess. Don't worry. She'll
I'm
start
gonna put
pounding
someone
keys.
through a table later. Like I'm gonna get drunk and angry, and then I'm just gonna like choke slam someone.
Yep. Warning to everybody out there: do not bring up Tama Tonga's weight gain. All right.
I will take somebody out. Like, woke up 7 a.m. and it's all I see between Twitter, on Tumblr even. I was like, who the fuck are you on Tumblr? Don't be running your mouth. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, here's another story. These ESPN ads. There are other podcasts that have been bringing this up where they're talking about, they're really analyzing the ads, and they're actually longer than the broadcast ads on regular TV. And then what happens is you miss live portions of the game now. You're automatically like pushed back like a minute and a half. So you're not watching live sports. So there's a lot of gamblers and stuff around here, of course. And they're like furious because they're noticing, oh my God, you're giving us more commercials and we're paying for it. Just so ESPN Plus, man, that's why I'm not buying any of this stuff. It's just they're obnoxious about it. And I can't even watch cable TV. I can't watch anything really. And that's why everybody seems to be getting addicted to TikTok and all, because it's just like you can flick around. Cool. When you're watching anything else, it's just ad, nonstop. So I don't know. Just another good reason to not buy into that whole system, because it's not going to get any better.
No, you won't roll it back ever. Like over here, we have like a solid 5-minute commercial break every 15 minutes rather than like 90 seconds every 3 minutes or whatever. So it's more infrequent, but you can go and make a drink, go make a sandwich, and you don't have to rush back straight away. But a couple of channels over here will sort of like try and adhere to the American template where it's like, yeah, it's 90 seconds every 3 minutes, and it's like, Christ, I don't even have time to go for a pee or whatever. And you just feel like that's the problem with WWE and a lot of modern stuff is just the way that it is broken up like that. It just ruins your momentum all the time. And you just feel like, am I here for wrestling, or is the wrestling getting in the way of the shit you're trying to sell me? And yeah, the escapism just goes out the window, for me at least. I know a lot of people still enjoy it, but
I remember I told Danny one week, I'm like, there's times where they will go to break at WWE, whatever show, and I go to make a sandwich or do something, and I come back and it's going to break again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it wasn't that long, but it was just long enough where they catch you like, no, you're going to watch this ad, Dr. Huge. Yeah.
We don't do the, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, we don't do the thing either where when we finish a show, we'll finish it like 5 minutes to the hour. So then you get the commercials and you come back and then it starts. We don't start the show and then before the intro sequence or whatever plays, we then go to ads again. We don't do that hang on thing, and it's really forcing the show to be different to suit the advertisers. And it's like that's the wrong priority. And it's one thing when a network does it, but then when a network and the program itself, like WWE, does it as well, it's like, does anybody actually here want me to watch wrestling? Please, again, it's another deterrent.
It sure is. And hubby says TikTok has tons of ads too. I use Instagram Reels, and for WWE, I'm on Netflix with VPN. Yep, everybody's, we're all getting around it in one way or another. But yeah, Instagram's kind of crazy. I tried to revive the Dr. Huge IG account like a year ago as well, and getting going on there. It's like nothing. It's completely dead. But everything that they're showing me on the algorithm, I'm following like 600 people, and nobody's posting. Like several people only post. That doesn't seem to be real to me, because then I'll see that they do post. If I go and look for them individually, everything else is people I don't follow or advertisements.
Yeah.
It's one or the other. So it's kind of like Instagram to me is like really dead. And of course, TikTok, they just can't stand me. So they'll never have me back. I can only post nice things on there. No live streams for Dr. Huge. Yep. How about this hot take I got for you? I think you guys see the video. I was gonna pull it up, but I forgot. The guy that was wrestling with the fake wrestler doll hugging him and doing suplexes over and over and over. And I'm like, this is Kenny Omega. This is that old indie style of wrestling. And now the kids have grown up and gotten old enough where that now they're in the business, and now they're going to monkey see, monkey do. And now they're all going to start doing this, and wrestling is going to really start spiraling and become more like this, whether we like it or not. And do you think that could be the case? 5-10 years where we're looking at invisible hand grenades and, you know, this type of corny stuff more often.
Maybe not full time. Sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say maybe in AEW, but if they're still around. But I don't think so.
No,
I don't think it'll be a full time thing in WWE, like the hand grenades and things like that. But they did have The Miz getting eaten by zombies, and they have had Dolph Ziggler dressing up as the KFC Colonel, and they do all silly things that break characters, and like I say, prioritize the adverts rather than the thing we're actually there to sit down and watch. But to your previous point about TikTok and shorter attention spans, or just shorter sort of like programming, there's a lot of people that do like videos where it's just, hi, I'm here to do a spot, and that's that. One of my friends watches this guy that has the exact same little mantra before he does his little spot, and he jumps off of something through a table and like a printer or a PC or do you know what I mean? Just different things like that, but he does the same thing every time and hurts himself, and he's got quite a lot of followers. So you don't even need to have a wrestling match to like be famous and in like the wrestling sphere, because that's what he does. He has a wrestling t-shirt, he references a couple of people, and then just does something daft / dangerous, and it's like, well, you've had no training, you haven't put on a match, you haven't rented a building, you haven't brought people to it, you aren't doing a dance with another person. But if that's what people want, that 30 seconds of that was good, and then that's it, next they'll just find another person to do that, and just that'll be their entertainment for the day.
What do you think, Jess? You into any of that? Like the what was that guy's name in the indies back in the day? Joey what he had the mustache. He was kissing Coca privates.
Joey Ryans.
Yes.
That guy that did the dick suplex or whatever it was.
Yes. Yeah. Everybody, they grabbed his crotch and then they flipped.
Yeah. It was like the headbutt of a Samoan, but with his penis.
I think I've seen that now that you say it.
Yeah. And he did the boob plex as well, where he'd, instead of grabbing around the waist for a belly to back, he'd grab a lass with the tits and throw them that way. And sex jokes, yay! That doesn't get old ever.
And then there was Effie with Marco Stunt, who we spoke about earlier, with the dildos and things in the ring.
Weird.
Very weird. The whole barroom wrestling scene was kind of in just the indies, especially at that time. And then it morphed into AEW. So I kind of assumed that you weren't going to be into that so much, Jess, you know?
No.
Not a Young Bucks fan either, huh? I think I might have asked that, but no.
No. They can get fucked, to be honest. Change your name. You're not young. Like, sorry.
Wow. The old Bucks is what you're saying.
Old fucks is more like it, but.
All right. Hold on. Let's see if our friend is still going here. Let's check in with him for a minute.
Gagia.
He's leaving. Gagia means he's done. Oh,
damn.
He just missed it. Oh, well. That was a short one, John. He must be getting ready to party like Jess is tonight.
Yeah.
He's all dressed up, ready to go. All right. Well, what else do I have here? How about Shinsuke Nakamura? He says, I was thinking like he's the next to retire. You got John Cena retiring. You got AJ Styles ready to go. Samoa Joe even. And I'm like, whatever his name is, he's going to go too because he's old, right? And he actually fought in MMA and other things as well. Probably got beat up somewhat. And no, he's going to stick around. His plan is to stick around 5 more years. And he's possibly going to get another title run because he wants it. Maybe. I don't see that happening, but.
No. But I mean, if his next 5 years are like his last year, then yeah, he could definitely do it. He's done like what, 2 matches? So, you know, I love Shinsuke, but I know stuff was going on and all that, but like, you know, part-time for 5 years, sure.
Super hot when he first came in. Then he won the Royal Rumble. When was that? I can't even remember. 2021. It was around the...
Yeah, it was sometime.
Yeah. And nothing came of that. He didn't even get the title match at Mania for that or anything.
No.
Like, wow. They really shit the bed on that one. And, man, that's a lot of my stories. The rest is all gambling stuff. Are you ready for that? You guys can leave anytime you want, remember?
Yeah, I gotta drop so I can go get drunk.
All right. Thank you for coming on, Jess.
Thanks for having me.
We'll talk to you again soon.
Bye, y'all.
Take care.
Bye.
We'll follow her everywhere.
Follow me. Peace.
That means you're going to go too, hubby. The Juggalos and the Juggalettes. I know you go to the Juggalo stuff. Fun times. What do they call that? What the hell do they call it? I don't know. Juggalo something or other. I'm sure Juggalo's in the name of it. Yep. Whoop, whoop. All right. Let's bring up this screen. Give me another moment, folks. You know, I'm great at this. I don't know if you saw the other night. I'm getting Dabbleverse celebrities on and messing it all up with all of the... They're like, I'm going to send you a link. And I'm like, oh, God. People are going to send me a link live and I'm going to do this. Be right back. And I'm back. All right. So we saw this clip, but wait, there's more. All right. So another guy from my time. And a lot of these videos I'm going to be showing you are from like a few years ago. People have been known about this. We already knew, bro. Get liking and subscribing, everybody. Don't forget. Never forget that. Hit that like button. And let's see what Rasheed Wallace has to say. Champion with the Celtics.
With the referees, that's why I was just saying, as I got older, I didn't have to do all the cussing or come with attitudes. No, I'm just hitting them with logic now. Like, oh, so y'all got that email last night, huh? Oh, then they flare all up. What are you talking about?
So this is before social media and stuff. So he's like talking just about strictly emails. Like, oh, they sent you the email last night. Because they knew back then what was going on. They probably, the smart ones, would be like, oh, yeah, this is the refs throwing this game, for us.
Oh, yeah, I know about y'all email shit. No, let's not forget that. I know about that. Man, look, it's been an ongoing
you're
war.
Referring to emails from the league with, this is what we discussed in Whistleblower, but emails from the league that are telling the referees to officiate the game in a certain way and against certain players.
Yeah.
And so you were cognizant of that at the time.
Can you hear this? Well, it's really low, this clip.
Yeah, I can hear it. Right, yeah.
Yeah, I was very, because to me, I saw it. And he'll tell you what I always used to say. Y'all making it too obvious.
I thought he was crazy.
Y'all making it too obvious, too blatant. Y'all making it too obvious. Yeah. I said, y'all want the fans to be able to watch the games, but y'all sitting up here calling a lot of these bullshit calls is doing what? Slowing down the game. Y'all want the fans to see the dunks and all that shit. Yeah. So call that shit both ways or don't call that shit at all.
Yep. Pretty simple. So this has been a thing talked about on podcasts for a while. I knew, oh my goodness, you got to see this. This is the commissioner of the NBA last night at one of the primetime games. And he was humming in, seemed a lot more nervous than he usually is. And
sorry, who did you say that was?
The commissioner of the NBA.
Right.
Looks like a space alien.
I was about to ask if his home base is the Death Star with like a basketball skin.
Yeah, that's right. He does look like that guy. He needs a little cap. Yeah.
After an NBA investigation ruled that there was no NBA rules violated, what do you make of that decision now amid the FBI's allegations against him?
So what happened was
Sorry.
Because bets.
What?
Just one, it's good to pause because there's music in the background. I don't want.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
caught
yeah,
out with that. And also, when she said that, he sort of like went, but not as obvious as I just did that. But he was not. He did not hold that in very well.
Yeah,
he shot a brick.
And I mean, we can just pretty much assume that's what all of it is. And I can't play it because of that music. Good call. It was so in the background. I was listening to him, But yeah, I mean, so Count Dracula over here, he's seems very worried, and he should be, because again, there is something to what Stephen A is saying. There's going to be more, and there should be. But also, let's not lose sight, everybody, of what's important. Is it important that your money's being taken from you through entertainment means, or is it more important that your money's being taken from you through things that you could control if you actually knew about it? So that's what I think, that this is a part of the game. Sure, they're going after some of their enemies. Sure, they're going after crime. But again, why now? Why are they doing this now? They could have done this a long time ago. Plus, if you really investigate a lot of this stuff, you learn that it's been through the courts even in the 60s, as long ago as that. And this is basically entertainment. And if you read the real small fine print on a lot of tickets, which a lot of people don't get like tickets in their hands anymore, this is for entertainment purposes only. The NFL says something specifically. You are watching something of the National Football League. I forget the actual wording, but it's almost like lawyer talk for meaning that you're not actually watching a legit sporting event. You're watching entertainment.
A performative presentation or something like that.
Some kind of you're watching some presentation of somebody tell me if you remember in the chat. But before I miss this, Hubby says also, if you don't know what I'm talking about with the Juggalos and the Juggalettes guy, he goes by Superhuman. Yeah, I think you'll get a kick out of it. I'll have to look that up. Superhuman. I just remember the guy on Dr. Phil, where he was like in his 40s and he wanted to be a horror rapper. And they're like, bro, like, you got a family and all you want to do is be a horror rapper. And it just doesn't make any sense. And even ICP came on via satellite on the Dr. Phil to be like, dude, you're nuts. Like, what are you doing? Some things on TV are just too good to pass up, and I understand. I'm not over here watching Dr. Phil all the time, but if you haven't seen that clip, come on, go find it. Oh, look, Hansy again. We got to play this one.
The ones hiding behind symbols and shadows.
This is my favorite one.
Come out, show your face. Stop whispering through proxies and screens. You call yourselves powerful and stand in the light. Let the people see who's been pulling the strings. You drape flags over hatred. Turn nation.
Every one of you sees what's going on. They think they can rule from the shadows. Not tonight. Imran Khan stands in the middle of this ring, and I'm calling out the Illuminati. You want to hide behind symbols and money?
Time to show you what the people think of your secret games.
Yes, keep it up.
Your power hitting the ground.
Did their heads fuse together?
Yeah, towards the end. They'll work on it, I'm sure. But, man, what the common people have now, it's pretty cool. It's just when the movies start and the music, business starts to it really gets taken over. I mean, it's over, brah.
Would you notice with like creatively, writing wise, just fucking let them have it. Just let AI have Hollywood for a bit. Just let them have 5 years. You're not going to miss. We are not going to miss anything. They cannot make anything new in the next 5 years that will change our lives. Because just look what they've made in the last 5 to 10 years. Just drivel. And if you let AI do it, and you just get, like, sorry to use the word that's been overused, but just let them just churn out slop for like 5 years. People will crave that original sort of like human touch, and it will be noticeable once the slop becomes really repetitive. So just let them have it, because they're not trying at the minute. Me and you have talked at great lengths on on air and off air, just about how everything's just recycled and just really low effort and just a money grab. They own all these different, well, like 3 or 4 different companies own all the IPs ever needed, and they just let everybody else have a go. It's just like, yeah, it's your turn now to direct Spider-Man. It's your turn now to direct Superman. We'll put a big advertising campaign in, say it's the summer of Superman, and you get a turn at directing it, and we'll tell them we'll get it right this time. This will be the definitive film, and no, it fucking isn't, and it's not just the film, it's the comics too. Sorry, I've gone on a tangent now. People defend the comics like to their death, right? But the comics are just the biggest whores out of all of them now. Marvel and DC, they've just got so many things coming out. Like there's like at least 10 different Batman things out at the minute, whether it's Batman bloody Gaslight Gotham, or Batman and Robin and Batman and Ultimate Batman and Batman Noir, and then Spider-Man's got the same number of things, and just it literally is a case of everybody gets to have a go. Oh, what's that? You wanted to write a comic book one day? There you go, we'll give you a Spider-Man. What's that? You wanted to write Goofy as Spider-Man? Cool, go for it. Or Disney characters, the Fantastic Four, and Godzilla's doing like crossovers, and Alien and Predator are doing crossovers with Marvel characters, and it's just like the Power Rangers are fucking in there somewhere. And what was the other one? It's just there's
Ninja
so many
Turtles, Transformers,
Ninja
G.I. Joe,
Turtles,
all back.
And for the Ninja Turtles, sorry, to get a comic book series after all this time, I was like, yeah, that's fair enough. Same with Thundercats. But then immediately they have like a little bit of success, and it's like, oh, and by the way, there's 7 spin-offs coming, and each of them has another 7 alternate covers that you can all buy. And it's just like, you greedy bastards, fuck off. No wonder Hollywood's just dancing in your bloody skin suit. You've pretty much asked for it in this sort of format. There are some like original sort of like, near original ideas, but the majority of what I see in like a comic shop and just what people are reading at the minute, it's just unnecessary guff. You don't need 10 different Batmans and 10 different Spider-Mans, and
it's been like that for a while now too.
Yeah, and then they just re-release it. They'll do something like 10 years ago, and it's like, nah, we kind of sold it all out then, and we'll just churn it out again, and we'll just sell it like it's new, and it ends up in the new releases section again. And it's like, this isn't even new to your standards of when this was made. You've maybe had a new cover done, but it's just so cheap and just so low effort.
And it's same with the movies. Like, how can anybody really be pumped for Avengers Doomsday with Doctor Doom coming up? Like, that should be a big deal, but it's Iron Man again. There's nothing new, there's nothing fresh, there's no real threat after Thanos. There's no build to this. It's basically they pivoted from Kang to Doctor Doom. That's what has happened. They should have just stuck with the Kang guy. Oh, he beat up some girl or whatever. I don't know. He didn't beat her up enough to have her not chase him around New York City. You know what I mean? I've never seen somebody that was supposedly was in such an abusive relationship that the other guy's running away from her. But maybe it was just that one incident in particular. But then to just go, okay, we're not going to make anybody else Kang. We're going to get rid of the character as well. It's like, what? It's just so stupid. It's a comic book deal. It's so easy to do. Hollywood messes everything up. You get these executive producers and people that want to get involved with the creative and go, no, we got to make it like this, and we got to appease these people, and we got to do that, and we got to showcase these people so we can sell these toys over here. If you just do something good, just like wrestling, just like sports, just like anything, make something competitive and people will watch it. Make something different but good and make it rewatch. Like, somebody made this point the other night, I was hearing somewhere online or something, where they're like, remember back in the day, you would actually watch movies over again. You would actually play games over again because you were like, it's good. There's something good here. But now you try to replay games or play them at all, or you try to watch some of these new movies and it just feels so lifeless to the point where it's like, I'm not going to play this again. Resident Evil, people are still playing Resident Evil 1. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, they've ruined everything bit by bit. And I mean, whoever, the controllers of this whole place, because it wasn't always like this, but we're going into a bad place and especially with AI on the horizon, with the handsy clips and all the rest, and how easy it can be done. I think there's one here too. More Dabbleverse stuff where Brennan showed up at Stuttering John's show the other night, and people are like making AI about it already. Look, there it is. What is he saying?
Unlimited power.
Is that Star Wars? Yeah. So, yeah, somebody was just filming him on the sidewalk, and now they're making videos like this. It's just what a time we're living in. And honestly, some of this stuff from just regular people, to me, is more entertaining than what Hollywood's doing. Again, they're making the same thing all over again every single day. The sports games, they're all tight games. The gambling stuff. I'm watching all these stories about the gambling this week, right? And writing things down, jotting some notes here and there. And all the YouTube ad commercials are gambling. They're talking about it on ESPN. There was literally the little symbol down there. They had to get rid of it. They're talking about it initially the day that the FBI dropped all this stuff. And there's a gambling app sponsorship right underneath it. The fix is in on all of it. I don't even know if we can play that. They're too professional. We can play this as a podcast. But check this out. Remember I was talking about Clutch Sports before and LeBron James's power and how he's the phony GOAT. And I can go on and on about this. These kids, they really think LeBron James is like the best thing ever. He's manufactured. He's brought to you by Pfizer, right?
So the moment I said anytime you say anything about Brian, people call you and say, hey man, you might want to chill. I know you got some funny stories and shit. Hey, leave LeBron alone. I'm like, God damn. I came on here and apologized.
This is a former player in the league.
I'm talking these some real.
So you literally got people calling him the Clutch Sports people, right? That's why, again, I think that was a signal to them, like, listen. And again, with the more that come, if LeBron didn't fall in anything with the Diddy stuff, even though he's out there going, ain't no party like a Diddy party, we all know he's got the Boule tattoo in the chest. If you know anything about that, right? Like basically like the Black Freemason, like secret society type fraternity shit, got tatted on his chest. He's just like, yeah, it just looks cool. Yep. I'm not buying it.
I just picked it off a wall. I walked by a shop and went, that one looks nice. I'll have that.
Right.
Thank you very much.
And then listen to this story, because this has to do with the poker rings that were set up, supposedly in part with Chauncey Billups. But here's a poker pro. Again, the year's 2023.
And I had heard about the game, and the person who told me about it was like, look, I know the game runners. I'm telling you 100% this game is on the up and up. And I was like, well, I know a lot of the people that are involved, and I'm telling you 100% that it is not on the up and up.
Yeah.
And, we kind of went back and forth, and I agreed that, like, I just wasn't going to go play it. But I had some friends who went and played it both in LA and in Vegas. And it obviously, like, was for sure confirmed to be cheated. Like, people who clearly didn't even understand the rules of No Limit Hold'em are just, like, jamming hundreds of big blinds in with, like, a gutty and then just drilling it. Yeah. Only the pros are losing.
Okay, that was
Love that. Only the pros are losing, right? Makes sense. So they knew. Everybody knew. And then in the meantime, people are like, nope. It's all in the up and up. Check this video out. This is an older one with Braun and Gilbert Arenas, who many people say Gilbert is the guy that dropped the dime on everybody because he was brought in. Remember I did a story on this a few months back, Danny? Like they got Gilbert Arenas and somebody else for gambling, Malik Beasley, I believe it was, and literally brought him in. He's got a big podcast over here on YouTube and everything. And he was a good player back in the day. One of LeBron's arch nemesis. But yeah, he's involved in a lot of this, and they think that he kind of blew the top off of it. But check this out.
You got 2 free throws.
and LeBron comes by and taps you on the chest and whispers something to you, what did he tell you?
He said, if you miss these free throws, you know who's going to win it. What makes it worse, because we gamble at LeBron's house.
You remember Shannon Sharp? That other voice you were hearing was Shannon Sharp, the guy that was sleeping with that chick and had to give up all that money and everything. Yeah.
Me, Damon Jones, that was our group. So Damon Jones was horrible at cards. He owed me money. Every time we played them, I always used to scream out, the landlord's here. The landlord needs his rent money. So he doesn't even play in game 6. So when he whispers, you know who's gonna hit it, everybody assumed it was him. I knew what he was talking about. I was balling that game, just hit the 3 to get us in overtime. And then I see Damon Jones in there stretching.
And for context, Damon Jones is also a part of this. The trio, the main trio that they're going after. Chauncey, the guy that used to be on the Celtics and the Hornets. I'm drawing a blank right now. And Damon Jones. But LeBron also knows, right? Just by this one clip here, it's letting you know he's not the one that's going to take the last shot. He never takes the last shot. He loves passing off the last shot. So the other person, he can be like, this is a great play I just made. It's like, no. The best player usually takes the last shot. That's what you're trying to do if you really are the best, right? LeBron, wink, wink. Anyway, let's finish this out.
He put the man in, and the fact that LeBron even passed him the ball is what hurt the most.
Damon Jones, who hadn't played a second all game, inserted a
weird, right? So you got coincidence, all them things, and then they all got the inside betting going on. Damon Jones comes in at the very end of the game. LeBron James says what he says to him right then. Very strange. There's so many little things that have been sitting in my mind for 20 plus years, just like this. I've gone to Patriots games where I know it was rigged. Not even necessarily in their favor either. It's just so obvious. I love this too. This is kind of the same point I was making earlier. Go ahead.
Yeah, one final video tonight. I mean, not too hard to see what's going on now, given what's happened. I couldn't figure out why the public was just kicking the shit out of everyone on Saturday and then Sunday. Anything that appeared to be a Vegas side need was just toast. Monday night, same thing. And then, this one looks like you're going to have the home favorite public cover easily, never in doubt, and then the over is going to hit. So,
which shouldn't be rare, by the way, but this is like a rarity these days. So I don't know. Seems like people are starting to wake up here, Danny, and I don't know what they're going to be up to. Look at this guy. Look at this face.
Fucking hell.
Look at that face.
Well, that's the face of certainty. That's confidence. That's knowing that he deserves to be where he is. It looks like he's trying to have a shit and not let you know that he's having a shit.
Wild. Stephen A. Smith, the sports commentator, suggested that this was revenge from the president for all the kind of left-wing activism of the NBA. Your response to that, 15 seconds.
I'm the FBI director. I decide which arrests to conduct and which not to conduct. That may be the single dumbest thing I've ever heard out of anyone in modern history, and I live most of my time in Washington, D.C. It's right up there with Adam Schiff. We arrest people for crimes.
Well, there you have it.
Which, yeah, like I say, all those things I just said about him are completely true, but what he said there, it's like, yeah, there's a Federal Bureau of Investigation. They investigate things, and yeah, if it's a big fucking sort of like conspiracy for as long as you say it is, then yeah, why wouldn't you get the FBI to crack it open or to clean it up or yeah.
Yep, and this is a local guy, one of my local sports stations. Seen him at card shows and everything, but here he is. It gives his little story about what he thinks about this whole situation.
What was the betting line again?
I believe it was 8 or 9, depending on where you got it and when you got it.
So what happened with 4 seconds left in the game?
The Portland Trailblazers, for some reason, fouled, Joe. Fouled twice, actually. Once when they had a foul to give, which I guess kind of made sense, and then once to send the Celtics to the free throw line, which made absolutely zero sense. And when I say Joe Murray was upset when this happened, that would be underselling it. Joe was furious at the foul with 4 seconds left by the Portland Trailblazers tonight.
What the hell was all that about? I sound like a man that lost a bet, right?
That's what everybody
But let's just
tell me.
Talk this out for a second. We've had players in the NBA get suspended for their involvement in gambling. Terry Rozier, former Celtic, who, by the way, I still go back to the day that in that game 7 he went 0 for 12 from 3, which we can still go, investigate there. The spread was 8 tonight. There was 22.4 seconds left, and the Celtics were dribbling out the clock to say goodbye. It was 126-118. They let J.D. Davison play. Drew Peterson came into the game So they're dribbling 5, 7, 6, 5, 4. Scoot Henderson fouls. Even Max, by the way, goes, why are they fouling? And I'm flipping out! Why did they foul there with 4 seconds left to put the Celtics on the line to go down 10? Game ends 128-118. I'll take the L. Fine. This isn't me complaining, but what the hell was that?
And he's on regular radio, so he can't, swear. I'm sure he wants to, because I've had that feeling before where you're just like, this is so unbelievable. Like, there's no reason to do that. If one team's up so much, they're running out the clock, why would you foul them? To put a couple more points on the board to then fuck up the spread for you, right at the end. It is obnoxious. But hey, man, have fun betting, everybody. That's all I got to tell you. I try to tell her, I'm like, calm down with the betting, but people, they just can't. They love it. They fucking love the feeling of them losing money or almost losing it. I think it's more than that than the winning, because they always come. They get a rush. Is like, oh yeah. I used to hear a guy that it was Artie Lang on Stern would be like, it's really, sometimes I would take like $2,500 and put it down and I didn't have the money. And I would get this rush knowing that somebody's going to try to do something to me if I don't hit this. Like, I absolutely need to hit this. Crazy. Yeah. So I think I have a little more, but it might just be all this gambling stuff. No, Erica Kirk, a little bit. Oh, some more Dabbleverse for everybody. Again, if you want to leave any time, I know I'm getting into a lot of
I'm shocked. All this time, I thought basketball was real, like pro wrestling, but it turns out it's rigged, like boxing. So
everything's rigged, man. And it's funny to me, like I'm still hearing from literally people that have watched football their whole lives. They're like 60 years old, and they just can't. They're not understanding. For whatever reason, I think it's because they love the game so much they just can't accept it. And it's like, no, bro. Like, this one guy was on this show. He knows everything about football, but he's just like, I know basketball's rigged. It's like, because you're not a basketball guy. I'm a basketball guy. I know it's rigged. I'm a football guy too. It's obviously rigged too. But he's like, well, there's too many players and this and that. I'm like, that makes it easier. And the refs. Who knows basketball probably is easier because you can, with the fouls every 2 seconds, but you have penalties in football. So it's the same deal. Everybody's holding on every play. You can just say, yeah, you're holding. That's a pass interference. That's not a catch. That is a catch. And it might not even be, but it's subject to how they are viewing the play. These specific referees who all have pieces, who are all talking to, New York, as they call it. And they're saying, yes, you make this call, make that call. And I'm not a big gambler anyway. Again, I maybe gamble $50 a year. And I laugh. Like last season, all the gambling I did all last season, such a little bets here and there and blah, blah, blah. I was up $50 and I left. If I leave with anything, I'm like, that's a big win for me. The season ended and I'm up $50. That's crazy to me. Then I take that and I use it this year. I think I had an extra 25, so I was actually up 75. I lost it in every single game that played out this year because it didn't make any sense. I'm not an idiot. I'm not just some ESPN watcher that's like, oh, I'm going to bet on some. I know these players. I know everything that's going on. I know how it's, who's going to be playing, all that stuff too. I get it. But to lose, I lost every single game I bet on this year. So once I lost that $25, which believe it or not, I stretched pretty good. I was like, no more of this. I'm out. And I think everybody else should get out now too. And I know a lot of younger people as well. And boy, they're fucking hooked. The video games got them years ago when they were kids. And now betting $500 a night ain't shit to them.
Kids have scratch cards. They've got Pokemon. I always say them Pokemon cards are like fucking scratch cards with pretty pictures on them for kids. Because I've seen kids react the same way in the shop that like the adults do when it's like, right, so I'm going to get this, I'm going to put it away for 10 years and then I'll open it and then I'll maybe get the golden ticket, or I'll buy two and I'll put one away and I'll open one and save one for... And then you see kids do the same thing and it's just like, oh, I'm going to get that pack because it might have a shiny whatever in it and that's worth so-and-so. And it's like, what happened to kids being like, I want that because it's fun and I'll play with it and it'll bring joy and I'll be able to like fight it against my friend's thing or team up with it or whatever the current game is. But no, they're hooked and they just come and spend the pocket money and it's just like, no, maybe next week I'll get that shiny whatever I was looking for. And it's like this.
Have you seen the comic book Halloween packs? They've like flooded the market with these bagged comic books, and you're just looking for golden tickets, like you were just talking about,
right?
Where, like, and all these whatnot people and all this stuff. I get a lot of things on whatnot are a scam. Definitely not my show, which I'll be doing again soon. But like, I actually do it the right way, and I get screwed over for it. And everybody still calls me a scammer just because I'm using the app. And I'm like, no, these other people, they got all these bagged Halloween comic books where you get one a piece, but you might get a special variant and the golden card might fall out. So they open it up for you on the stream and they shake it out. And I'm telling you, one night, like a week ago, maybe after the New York City Comic-Con, it must have been around that time. And they're just opening pack after pack, all these shows. There's so many of them. And I didn't see any. And I must have seen well over 100 openings. But I'm just laughing to myself. I'm like, this is what it's become. Comic books have kind of turned into trading cards where it's like, but you can get a pack and the mystery boxes. And that's cool. I got mystery boxes too, but mine are good. Again, I'm giving value no matter what. But I understand people come to me and go, oh, mystery boxes, how dare you? And then they go to another channel and buy mystery boxes and mystery packs. It's like, wait a second. I don't know. Good.
That's okay. No, finish, please.
Oh no, I really had nothing else to say. I was just going to keep rambling.
I was going to say, I think it was Batman. I'm sure it was Batman that had like a blind comic sort of line, and they called it like Blind as a Bat or something like that. I didn't mean to rhyme, but yeah, I saw like 4 lads go into the shop, and they all bought the same one and the same Batman comic, and they didn't know what they were getting inside. So I'm guessing that's what that was. One of them might have been a foil cover or something, and you don't know. But you can do it with Warhammer 40,000 have got like these blind boxes now as well, where you don't know what mini you're going to get to paint. So you just buy it blind, and it's just that whole gacha sort of like trading card model, and people are just going for it. And it's another form of gambling, but they're not advertising it as gambling. Like with a lot of the actual gambling, it's like, we're all playing together, and they just make out like it's a game, and it's like, no, it's gambling. I'm sorry, but you could at least be honest with people, because it is a real serious issue. Not to get all like time for morality time with Danny or anything like that, but it's a horrible thing is when people get really addicted to betting. I see people like just clinging to the door of like the bookies in the morning, just waiting for it to open, and you see people queuing up, and that's their life. They'll get the benefits, and they'll go down to the bookies, and they'll just spend money that isn't theirs, that they probably don't have because they've already spent it. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, people should be allowed to do it if they want to do it, but the way it's advertised to people as a game, and then they go, but not really, it's not really gambling, but be responsible, but come on, spend all this money, it's really easy, all you need to do is click your phone and that's that, but be responsible, but look how easy it is, and you could win £1 million, and it's just, yeah.
And here, we'll give you a free $200. That's like the thing they do around here, every single app. There's so many. Like, I was always pro whatever anybody wants to do. Legalize everything, it's whatever. I'm pretty liberal when it comes to all that stuff. But, man, with the gambling, it's like opening Pandora's box. I was wrong about that one. They probably shouldn't have made it legal. I mean, illegal gambling was already making billions of dollars. I was, like I said, I was doing it at 20 years old, like a long time ago. So it really didn't matter. It's just now all these podcasts and shows and everybody the amount of sponsorship for it is like, they're doing the COVID level, like for the vax there. Like there's that much sponsorship for. You can't look at anything even remotely sports related and not see Kevin Hart, Jamie Foxx, somebody pop up, go, hey, you should gamble on this and gamble on that, and we'll give you this. And it's just, I've had enough of it. Because again, I've never been a big, peer pressure guy, or I'm very hard to brainwash. Once you like kind of clear that brainwashing stuff up when you're growing up, you go, oh, wait a second. People have been playing, tinkering around, even if they don't even know it. Like, I can never shut it off now. So anytime somebody I can see they're pushing a message repeatedly, that's brainwashing. And it repels me. But I see it working on everybody else because everybody's got a gambling app now. It's scary. And they're being cheated.
Yeah. It's not even like legitimate sports. It's just all worked.
And then prop bets. This is where the real bullshit comes in. Like, you can fix all kinds of spreads and things like that, but the prop bets are very easy. That's like with Terry Rozier. Oh, I can't play tonight, 9 minutes in or whatever. So what you do is you put a parlay together. So you get a bunch of prop bets like, this guy's going to get so many rebounds, assists, blocks, blah, blah, blah. You factor it all together with a bunch of other people and what they're going to do. And then you need to hit on all of them. And if you spend, say, $10, you'll make like $110, say. And so I've heard this story so many times that you hit like 10 out of 11 of them, because many of them are very obvious. But, people they get so many prop bets to parlay it to make actual money, and they get screwed over left and right. And that's why they're talking about having a class action suit, people getting together, because people spending thousands, hundreds of thousands on these prop bets. And now they know that players have been, or at least allegedly, throwing some of them for their benefit. Like, woo, I don't know what's going to happen with all these sports teams.
Just hypothetically, somebody with a gambling problem possibly lost their house, it ruined their life, fell out with the missus, had the kids taken away from them and that lot, and it was all down to one basketball or football or whatever game, one bet, and it turns out that game was rigged and that you lost all of that because it was rigged. Would you have a leg to stand on to sort of like hold somebody else responsible and be like, you owe me money, fucker? I entered what I thought was a proper like agreement that nobody knew the answer and I was gonna guess, and I put my money on the line, and you did. I put my money on the line and lost it, whereas you didn't. Fulfill your side of the bargain.
I think they'll get out of it, of course, because, like you said, you can bet on wrestling, right? I don't know where you can do it, but I'm sure you can. I remember you could. But when I first heard of that years back, I was like, you can bet on wrestling, but they make the outcomes. So what's stopping the creators in WWE from just you don't have to go crazy. I'm a smart guy. I'm betting $1,000 max. I'm not greedy. I'm just gonna slowly chip away if I'm going to do it at all. I'm not going to do like these NBA players because they think like money's nothing. If they're making all this millions of dollars a year anyway, what's fucking $20,000? But it's $20,000 to the rest of us. So when the prop bet goes up for a random ass player in the NBA in a random night during the week for $20,000, and then you get even more bets from your friends and family, it's like sending, everybody's spidey sense is going to be tingling, which is, I think, a part of the reason why this stuff started in the first place. It's like gangsters doing too much, flossing too much on the streets, and then you got the players and the coaches just being way too obvious about it. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. There's even video, and it could be taken out of context, where like big players in the league, Kevin Durant, looking at people sitting front row, and they're not acting normally as normal fans would act with players, where it's almost like they're looking at him like, now's the time. And then you'll see Durant like put his head back down and then pick it up and look at him again and go like I can't do it right now. You know what I mean? And then you'll see the guy going, yep, you gotta, again, can be taken out of context, but there's videos like this out here. So I don't trust anything anyway.
There's stories about similar, like back in the day with boxing as well, where people would look out in the crowd and they'd see like a certain mob member or whatever it was threatening them, and sort of like they'd be like, now or round 5, or they'd signal to them, and yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let that go for a little bit before I get whacked. I don't want to be talking too much about it. You know what I mean? But there's been a lot of Dabbleverse news, Danny. I'm trying to get everybody involved. I don't know if you saw Thursday's show, but I had Dave Sarah on, who is a regular on like MLC and a bunch of other podcasts. Right. And he brought up a whole thing about Mersh and how Mersh has lost a girl to Ralph from Killstream. That's Ethan Ralph. Have you heard that name?
Ethan Ralph. Yeah, hang on. Wasn't it the guy from fucking terrible with names? Wasn't he the guy that got done for revenge?
Aaron Imholt?
Pornography, yeah. I thought he lost his...
He's in prison right now, technically, or jail or something.
Yeah, for like a week and a half or something. I thought he lost his missus to another podcaster.
To the lawyer YouTuber, Nick Rekieta.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought Mersh was friends with the guy who was recently obtained a new girlfriend.
I don't know. This Ethan Ralph sounds like a hoot, though. I've seen some of his things in the past, but yeah, that's what Dave was just trying to tell me about, and I'm like, I got to bring this up to Danny because I know you know of that world a little bit, which connects to my world in the Dabbleverse and all that. But that's what I'm going to bring up right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to play this all out of sorts, out of times and things, just whenever it pops up on the stream. But Stuttering John was doing a show, one of his comedy shows. He'd come up to New Jersey to go to Pennsylvania and a few other spots. But Kevin Brennan said he was going to be there. Other people said he was going to be there. Kevin showed up with a noisemaker and everything. So the owner of the club printed out wanted posters for 2 people. This Tommy Jordan that's just been getting into the Dabbleverse and wants to ask John questions and keeps getting kicked out everywhere he shows up. And also Kevin Brennan was kicked out. Now he's worked this club. He's a big time comedian in real life. And he even got kicked out. Then you got Gino here that we're about to see. I don't know what portion this is, but Gino, big Chargers fan. Yep. Where's your headband, bro? Usually wears a headband. Can't take it. I'm not a big fan of this guy. I don't know if you know of Red Bar. Red Bar goofs on him all the time. That song Flat Broke Gino. That's Gino. Anyway, let's see what he's got to say.
We're not doing it.
What are we doing?
We're not doing it.
What
Drive home drunk.
I haven't been.
So this is Kevin Brennan filming Gino outside of John's stand-up comedy place that he's at doing a set right now. And Gino did a set there. His wife did a set there. And Brennan's not allowed in, so he's waiting on the sidewalk to confront Stuttering John. But in the meantime,
Are you filming? I'm not drunk.
Drive home drunk.
I'm drunk
Go ahead.
on your
No, we're
love
not
and
doing that. We're
Why
not
are
doing
you
that.
doing this?
Why am I doing that?
I
don't know.
I
don't know.
Why are you
and there's Kiki Poo Poo Kaka Pee Pee with her baby talk.
doing it?
Why are you doing stuff?
What am I doing?
I don't know. You're being drunk on a Thursday.
I
Talking
had
about-
one
I heard
big
your
ultra.
killer.
I'm hammered.
I heard your killer COVID closer.
Which one?
Oh, the Fauci. That stuff still kills, right? Flimsy. Flimsy was there.
With a noise machine. I didn't even
I had to go
hear
find
it.
Stuttering John.
Okay.
All right, so he's off to find Stuttering John.
Yeah,
He just
that voice is horrible.
on who? Brennan or Gino?
It's the baby
Oh,
voice.
yeah,
like you
her,
said,
yeah.
That's
She's
awful.
got a podcast as well. I mean, out of all the characters, she's not necessarily the worst, but yeah.
I've just remembered what it is that I've mistaken. I just want to correct myself before anybody corrects you or me. It was the thing I was thinking of where it's one of Mersh's friends was the granny and the what was his lady called?
Oh, Lemmy.
Yeah, they had a public explosion, didn't they? And then yes, one of Mersh's friends has now got the lady of that group, of that couple, and yeah, that's the drama that I caught at one evening when I was watching some stuff.
Yeah, I'm still trying to catch up on all of it as well. Very sophisticated stuff here, folks. Stay tuned.
Look, he's been a tool from Stern. He's a tool now. Whatever.
He's what?
I said he's been a tool for 30 years from Stern.
Yeah,
He's
so
still a
this is
tool.
what he gets. I'll just wait for him.
Yeah, but you can't wait.
I'll just wait for him. So he's already been taken out of the place, and they're explaining to him, the guy at the door who knows him. Again, Brennan's worked this place. He knows the owner and the door guy here.
Wait for him on this property.
I'll just wait for him inside on the sidewalk. It's private property. Are you guys here to muscle me?
No, there's no muscle.
Are you guys ice? You guys ice? This guy looks like
Were you here with
ice.
Louis, or were you with the Snake Theater with Louis?
I don't know. I don't know. It's Louis you're talking about. Who's Louis?
Louis C.K.
I've never heard of him. Ice is here.
Hello.
Flimsy, you going in? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'll hang out here. I gotta smoke my cigarette. They won't let me smoke.
He said he's gonna wait for John, but I told him he could wait for him, but he can't wait for him on this property. That's
Who's that? Ice?
Sure.
No, wait for him on the sidewalk.
The cops were being kind of douchey with him. It's like, I get it. You want to trespass the guy. You want to put him outside. They sent out a cop later on, too, to talk to him. I think I have that video. So then this is when they eventually went out.
These guys are waiting for you.
And there's Flimsy, my guest a couple weeks ago, New Jersey Ranger. That's his one of his co-hosts. So yeah, a lot of happenings in this Dabbleverse. Hopefully, I got one more here. I think I do. There we go. Here's the cop confronting Kevin Brennan on the street, letting him and Tommy Jordan know, you do not go back in there. We're trying to do comedy, all right? Or you'll get arrested.
You're in a stress factory? Something happened with a comedian?
So somebody called the cops. Who do you think that was, everybody? Couldn't have been Stuttering John. He would never, right? He kept calling Brennan a coward yesterday on his show. You're a coward. But just to tell you the end of the story, John never comes out. He dips out the back after the show. He knew what was going on. I didn't even know they were there. Yeah, you did. People talk. You knew they were there. You weren't going to come out and answer questions and be cool. Stuttering John is known for this. He's the question guy. He's the guy that used to show up to Sharon Stone and, Sylvester Stallone and whoever else and ask him stupid questions at the press conferences and everything else. Now people are doing it to him, and he's just not going to have it. Total bullshit.
Not me. I never went in.
I wasn't allowed in. Pointing at you.
Huh?
We got a
No, I
police
wasn't
officer
allowed
here.
in. I wasn't allowed in.
Happened with the comedian with you, or?
They kicked me out because I was wearing a Halloween.
Oh, okay. All right. Listen, you do what you want. You can hang out on the sidewalk. They don't want you back in there.
Okay, I won't.
End the story.
Got
Go
it.
back in there and be arrested.
Are you ICE? Are you ICE?
Captain Hoover.
Captain Hoover, New Brunswick?
Yes, sir.
How long on the force?
22 years.
All right. So you're not ICE?
I'm not ICE.
All right. Because I'm hearing a lot about ICE.
Okay, good. All right.
There's a lot about ICE, Captain.
All right, good.
This reminds me of when you got pulled over. Great.
Yeah, he did get pulled over in Atlantic City, leaving there. And he's like, I knew I didn't have a drink, so I just started fucking with the cop. And he's like, let's mag it up. He's like, give me this and that. And he's like, oh, well, you think you're a tough guy with that gun and all this? He's like, you're really giving him the business. But, yep, good old Dabbleverse, man. So this was all happening while, like, right after I did my show on Thursday night. So I got to keep up on all that amazing stuff. And here's probably my clip of the week. Now, I've been down on this Clearwater Chad. We saw from him earlier, but this gave me probably the best laugh of the week. So that's why I got to get you on, Clearwater. You're one of the goats out here. Check this out, Danny. Tell me if this makes you laugh.
Hey everyone, this is Clearwater Chad. I'm sorry to report that Shuli Egar late last night on Twitter went on a rampage and told everyone in the whole world that I was fat. That's slander and defamation of character. I partnered with a law firm, a Jewish law firm, to destroy him effectively. Names are Anowitz, Danowitz, and Katowitz. And they said that Shuli cannot use those terms. You could not tell someone, the whole world, that I am fat. It's not going to happen. It's not going to fly. We know he has assets. We'll be taking those assets. I thank you for your support in my time.
Yep. Watch out, shitware. Your assets are going to go missing now. CWC's coming for you. All these guys, they love the LOL suits. That's what they call it. The LOL suits. Get liking and subscribing, everybody out there. Anything else you want to tell all the people out here, Danny?
No, I've had a good whinge about comics. That was something that I've just noticed in the last few weeks. Just more and more sort of like of the exact same fucking thing. It's just tiring. It's just why would you try something that they just keep throwing at you and just like, you'll like it this time if we re-release it, and it's like, maybe I won't.
Yeah.
But no, thanks for having me. It's been interesting. With the betting thing, I don't know how any of those people, but I understand and I'm familiar with the mechanics of like how people conspire.
I mean, we're
with gambling
talking coaches and analysts and players and, this thing, it's the entire operation, So to think that the NBA has nothing to do with it or the NFL doesn't do the same things or whatever, it's just like, Santa's not real, folks. Okay? Stop believing in all this make-believe business. It's not real. And a lot of people I've known the past 5 years, like the gamblers at least, they don't even gamble on the game anymore. They gamble on how they think the NFL wants the game to go. Which is that's crazy when you think you got to so you're now playing all these mental gymnastics to try to trick people that are trying to trick you. And it's like, come on, man. Give me the 90s back again. And okay, you can say Jordan was he went to baseball, right? Are we really buying the fact that it wasn't because of gambling? Now they're not going to Pete Rose Michael Jordan in his fucking prime after 3 titles and go, oh, well, we got to ban him from the game. No, they made him leave for a few years. It was a little fishy. His father passed away, right, around this time as well.
Suspicious circumstance or something, wasn't it?
And he also liked to partake in the gambling. And I think the story went that he wasn't even like robbed, kind of like Bill Cosby's kid. His son was like, I believe, murdered, just like Michael Jordan's father, but they didn't take the championship ring. They didn't take the wallets. Like, it's weird. Again, somebody gets dropped around here, I know, like, they just run the pockets like immediately. So everybody get well, all you NBA people. Again, I think there's more to come, and I'll probably be speaking on this a lot more. I don't know if it's all that exciting, but I think it has bigger ramifications than what people understand, because, you know, everybody's got the goldfish brain and they're just like, anyway, yep, there was some kind of scandal over here. We don't care about that. It affects a lot of different things and a lot of different industries. So, all right, Danny, thanks for coming on, and
thanks for having me.
Best in the world in England. Best in the England. All right, and everybody else, of course, follow Danny, follow me, hit the link here, hit all the stuff. I got new music videos out. I still have a TikTok technically, so hit me up there. Multiple YouTube channels, multiple IG channels that are dead, so I still use them though. So check it all out. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys later this week. Have a good day.